Before you even woke up today, someone had already predicted what you would think, what you would feel, and what you would click. This isn't a conspiracy. This is design. In the last 15 years, something quietly rewired the human brain. Not a drug, not a government, but an interface. The apps we trusted to connect us learn to control us. They map our fears. They reward our anger. They track our loneliness. And then they sell all of it. You think you are using social media, but what if I told you social media is using you? This is the hidden psychology the tech companies never wanted you to see. A system built to pull your mind apart, one notification at a time. The story doesn't begin with Facebook, or Instagram, or TikTok. It begins in a psychology lab. At Stanford University, a small group of behavior scientists, many trained in persuasive technology, were running quiet experiments, not on mice, on humans. Their question was simple: how do we make people do something without realizing why they're doing it? This wasn't unethical. This wasn't illegal. This was the future. They didn't create apps, they created compulsions. The human brain is ancient, predictable, hackable. Tech companies realize that every emotion, fear, desire, jealousy, loneliness, validation, is a biological switch, and every switch can be manipulated. They mapped 3 weaknesses. Every like is a hit, small, instant, unpredictable, exactly like a slot machine. Humans are built to compare themselves to others, but social media amplifies this instinct until it becomes a psychological trap. Anger spreads faster than joy. Fear spreads faster than calm. The platforms learned that rage keeps users online longer. They rearrange the world to maximize it, not for your well-being, but for their profit. By 2012, Silicon Valley had a new currency: attention. Every second your eyes stayed on the screen was money. Real money. Billions of dollars. And so began the hidden war for your mind, fought with algorithms instead of weapons. Posts that made you angry rose to the top. Posts that made you insecure stayed in rotation. Posts that made you compare yourself to others were pushed again and again. Because a miserable user is a profitable user. A lonely user is a predictable user, and a predictable user is an easy product to sell. This was not an accident. This was an engineering decision. When anxiety began to rise globally, tech companies blamed stress, work, school, life. But psychologists saw something else: a perfect timeline. The like button launches, Instagram rises, TikTok expands. Global anxiety skyrockets. Children became addicted to screens. Adults watched their self-esteem collapse. Hospitals saw spikes in sleep disorders and self-harm. These weren't random trends. They were symptoms. Symptoms of a brain under siege. Behind every screen, there is a watcher. Cold, neutral, mathematical. The algorithm. It knows when you're lonely, when you're jealous, when you're heartbroken, when you're insecure, when you're angry, when you're bored at 2 a.m. And it also knows what you'll click next. It doesn't read your mind, it shapes it. Your feed isn't a reflection of your interests, it's a reflection of your vulnerabilities. Humans were never meant to consume this much stimulation, this much comparison, this much fear. And quietly, the world began to buckle. Attention spans collapsed. Anxiety disorders doubled. Teen depression increased. Online anger became the norm. Sleep cycles shattered. Social media wasn't connecting the world. It was fracturing it. Because when your attention becomes a commodity, your emotions become tools. Your identity becomes a battleground. And your mind becomes the product. There is only one way out: awareness. Once you see the system, you can choose to step outside it. Turn off notifications. Set screen limits. Delete apps that manipulate. Rebuild your attention like a muscle. Relearn real connection. This isn't about abandoning technology. It's about reclaiming your brain. Social media didn't break us. We handed it the tools. Now we take them back. Your brain is the most powerful structure in the known universe. But even the strongest machine can be hijacked if it doesn't know it's under attack. Now you know. The question is, what will you do with that knowledge?